So let's talk about the race for digital technology, which has shot up in the past 7 months of the global pandemic of coronavirus than at any other time in recent history, as the virus ravages economies around the world, resulting in major disruptions to lives and economies. The need for digital technology, including fintech, has become more imperative than ever before. Joining me now to discuss the role of fintech in Nigeria under the pandemic is the founder and president of Fintech Nigeria, Dr. Segun Aina. He's joining me live from our Lagos studios here. Good evening to you, Dr. Aina. Thank you very much for coming.
Good evening, Bosin. Thank you very much.
Let's go straight to business. How important is the role of fintech in the Nigerian economy, as you've seen it since the COVID-19 broke out 7 months ago?
Thank you very much. If COVID has broken out maybe 20, 30 years ago, it would have caused a lot of chaos, not only within the Nigerian economy, but even across the globe. But since the invention of internet about 33 years ago or so, and smartphone technology, we've seen digital adoption growing. And for organizations that are digitally ready, or nations that are digitally ready, they have been able to use digital technology to be able to reduce the negative impact of COVID. And Nigeria is no exception. Even when you look at the recently released NCC data in terms of teledensity, that is the number of active telephone users, which has grown over the years now to about 203 million subscribers. And you look at people that have access to broadband internet, high-speed internet, which have grown to 82 million. And of course, about 149 million people now have access to internet. You see that a large population have access to internet. And with this, we're able to ensure that activities did not stop in our financial transactions, for instance, with the benefit of fintech. And we have a lot of payment systems, we have a lot of banks that are now digitally ready. So for users that are digitally ready, and for individuals, consumers that are digitally inclined, we discovered that the impact has not been bad at all. We have seen a lot of improvement in the numbers in terms of usage of digital platforms. In fact, it has been projected that digital adoption that was supposed to happen in 6 years from now has happened just within 6 months, thanks to the COVID pandemic. Yes, there are winners and there are losers. For people in the hotel industry, for instance, for people in the hospitality and aviation industry, we've seen a lot of problems because of the fact that people cannot move around. But for some other sectors, like financial services, for instance, in banking, a lot of people do their transaction without going to their branches, without even going to ATM. We have seen a lot of reduction even in the number actively using ATM. People now do most of their transactions online. We've seen people in the e-commerce business, for instance. The e-commerce transactions have grown, and a lot of e-commerce companies are doing extremely well because they are beneficiaries, of some of these things that have happened that has reduced people moving around, and so on and so forth. And for organizations like that are digitally ready, that have done their transformation and are ready for this has really helped them. So the economy is better for it, and we see a lot of improvements going forward because with digital you're able to provide convenience and a lot of other benefits that come to the economy.
Dr. Anna, I'm just keep thinking banks could afford at this point in time to open one branch and close the next one. And your account managers, your officers are working from home. It's unbelievable that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, without fintech, it's going to be an extremely total story. So what does this really mean about why we need to enable financial technology, this digital absorption, as you put it, very much rapidly into every facet of our economy?
Yes, the good news is that there is now a Nigeria digital economy strategy which has 8 pillars. And with the diligent execution of that, it's going to deepen the usage of digital technology in this country, even especially within the rural areas. And talking about banks and use of digital and fintech, you will see that in the last few years, a lot of banks have closed branches. And we foresee that very soon also, a lot of banks will also close more branches because they've discovered that they don't really need those branches because a lot of people are not even going to the banks anymore to be able to do their financial transactions. They have seen that they may not even need a lot of the spaces that they even have, even in their head office, because a lot of their staff are now working in the office from their homes or working in remote manner. And that's going to also lead to depression in the office space because we've seen a lot of businesses now saying that they don't even need the kind of spaces that they are needing. And when you look at the derivatives of fintech, as I mean, fintech is a generic. When we talk about fintech, we're not talking about fintech for the narrow definition of financial technology companies, but we're talking about fintech with an ecosystem way. All the players are within the fintech ecosystem. You can have derivatives like edtech, education technology, and we have seen the disruption and the enablement that are coming to that sector as well. A lot of students now sit down in their homes and they are studying thanks to digital technology, thanks to fintech that enable the payment, and so forth. So these are, the positive side of COVID-19, and we'll see it, improving for that because a lot of people have now seen the benefit of that, and it cut across all sectors, be it financial services, be it in education, be it even in agriculture, be it in agri-tech, in regulatory technology, and so many other aspects.
Dr. Aina, I'm going to ask you a few questions after the break. Fintech, when it comes to supervision for maybe the central bank, the Securities and Exchange Commission, we're talking about Coinbase and other like cryptocurrency, but more important, fintech in governance. Let's talk about that when we come back. Don't go away, anyone. So let's get back to the conversation around financial technology and what it means for Nigeria, its financial system, and the government moving forward. Still having with us Dr. Segun Aina, founder and president of Fintech Nigeria. Dr. Aina, thank you so much. Let's go straight to governance. We need fintech, we need digital adoption in governance in Nigeria. Yes or no? If yes, how quickly should we get it done?
Yes, we do. And I think one of the statements that I can say has pointed to this is the decision of government to actually change the SY Ministry of Communications to Ministry of Digital Economy. And we have seen the great things that they have done in the last 1 year. We are still far away from ensuring that Nigeria becomes a truly digital economy. But we are taking those baby steps, and we believe that we will get there. Talking specifically about the financial services industry and adoption of fintech and how it has enabled governance, we all know the Treasury's single account, aka the TSA, which was adopted a few years ago, and we were told that at the first or the second year, it has saved the government about 500 billion naira, and I'm sure by now that figure would have even increased. That has been enabled by the adoption of fintech technology in governance. We also, the NFIU, that is Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, are also working closely with us in the Fintech Association of Nigeria, and they have used fintech and technology to be able to do their work in terms of tracing flow of funds, in terms of guiding against money laundering and so on and so forth. So by the time some of these issues about money laundering and corruption it reduces corruption and it enhances efficiency in government. With fintech as also, we are going to have a reduction in the cash in circulation, which should be good for everyone. I mean, in today's COVID, for instance, people are trying not to even touch money. So, but unfortunately, we are a society that uses cash. But in the recent time, we have seen that people now use more of digital rather than exchanging cash. We are still it's still a long distance before we get there. Before we get to countries like Sweden, which is the #1 cashless society, in the world, with only 1% of GDP representing cash, compared to 8% in the US or 10% in the euro euro area. Nigeria is E5, but these are countries that I hope that we'll be able to emulate and be able to bring more transparency to transactions, we'll be able to bring more efficiency into governance, and then, of course, reducing cost holding cash or cash in circulation. But I think we are taking steps in the right direction.
Dr. Aina, let's come back to within the financial services industry, securities market, like the SEC and the central bank. What's going on there between Fintech Nigeria and these two critical regulators?
Yes, thank you very much. That's a very, very good question. In Fintech Nigeria of Nigeria, there are three key objectives: to connect, to accelerate, and to advocate. In doing the advocacy work, we deal a lot with regulators. And I can tell you that all the financial service regulators, Central Bank of Nigeria, Security and Exchange Commission, National Insurance Commission have all keyed in and we're able to work together towards ensuring that we advance and promote innovation with fintech, in Nigeria. We actually have set up a forum called the Regulators Forum, the Regulation and Innovators Forum, and every financial service regulator have seconded a very, very senior personnel into that forum, which is made up of representatives of the innovators, the people that are in the fintech space, the operators, and also the regulators. About 32 in that forum, which I share. And what is the idea? The idea is to bring the two parties together so that the innovators will know the mindset of the regulators. And the regulators will also be able to read the mindset of the innovators. And by working together, we're able to come up with solutions and products that meet the requirement of the market, that serves the interests of the customers, and that does not endanger the economy. We were very much involved in putting together the Fintech Roadmap in the capital market that was sponsored by the Security and Exchange Commission. The association was involved in setting that up and in working with the operators. And the last 1 year, you will see all the regulations that are now coming out of SEC, the crowdfunding policy, the digital currency policy, and so on and so forth. These are outcome of the engagements that we have had with the regulators. Yes.
I want us to end this conversation on just conclude the selection of a new board of trustees for Fintech Nigeria, which are some of the biggest names in the Nigerian economy.
Yes, I mean, we have reached the second stage of our growth. This is the third year of Fintech Nigeria of Nigeria, and we believe that we need to now improve on the governance structure and also on the I'm bringing people to be on the board of trustees. The organization has literally been run by the governing council, made up of very eminent Nigerians in various fields of life in the technology space and so on. But now we have a board of trustees that is made up of very extremely distinguished Nigerian people, like people like Mr. Bola Adeshola, the vice chairman of Standard Chartered Bank, people like Mary Uduk, the former
Dr. Segun Aina.
Yes.
I'm sure you have quite a lot of big names. One of those names will be on the show just right after this conversation with you. Kyari Bukar, former chairman of Nigeria's Economic Summit Group. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Segun Aina, founder and the president of Fintech Nigeria.